Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Nathan Drinkard. I'm Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As a reminder, we're on Anchor, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. If you're looking for us in a video format, you can find us at the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Regrettably, we are here to report that we're back in our virtual setting after two in-person shows last week. But that's what we had to work with, so we're going to make it happen. Drink, great to be back with you. Even though I think we very much enjoyed the in-person shows.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we could make it happen, we would do all the shows in person. But like you say, sometimes life hits you fast, and you got to roll with the punches, right? So with that said, we back in virtual. But with all that said, everything good. I can't complain on another tremendous Tuesday. What say you?
I'm ready to go, man. Ready to get it going.
All right then. Well, y'all know what time it is. Another day, another dollar. We got to give the streets what they need. We see what they don't. We gonna say what they want and set them plates because it's time to eat. And last but not least, let's talk some sports, baby. What we got, Jay?
All right, this is episode 17 of season 3. It's an all football show. We're going to attempt to make sense of some surprising results in the NFL. We'll have the college football recap and plus instant reaction on the latest college football playoff rankings. We're going to start with Monday Night Football last night, where the San Francisco 49ers got a much-needed victory against the Los Angeles Rams, who all of a sudden are in the midst of a 2-game losing streak. San Francisco got to a 14-0 lead early in the first quarter. With the George Kittle touchdown pass from Jimmy Garoppolo. They're glad to have him back. And Jimmy Ward interception return late in the first quarter. They would lead 21-7 at the half. They would lead 31-7 after Deebo Samuel caught a 40-yard touchdown from Garoppolo in the fourth quarter. Rams offense really never got on track. They were held to 278 yards. Stafford ends up 26-41, 243 yards. Not much of a running game to speak of. They only ran it with their running backs 9 times. Cooper Kupp did have a big night, 11 catches, 122 yards. Just 2 catches for Odell in his Rams debut. Meanwhile, Garoppolo, efficient, 15 for 19, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, quarterback rating, QBR of 95.9. And Deebo Samuel, 5 catches, 97 yards, 40-yard touchdown, and a touchdown on the ground. Drink, how concerned are you about the Rams, who have acquired recently Von Miller and Odell Beckham, but haven't won a game since?
Well, first of all, I say this. I mean, I feel like raise your hands if you've seen the Rams getting their ass whooped by the 49ers. And listen, I understand the mantra in a given Sunday. I understand the mantra that this is 32 professional teams, so you can lose to anybody. That sounds good, but you shouldn't lose to anybody. And if I was a Rams fan, my concern got to be somewhere between the 5 and 7 area. I'm not a Rams fan, but as a Rams enthusiast, as a guy that I have the Rams making it to the NFC Championship game. Not gonna lie, I'm probably wavering around that 3 or 4 range right now. I got to see what they do next week. They go out here and stink up the joint next week. That's gonna raise tremendously. Here's the deal. We joke about the Rams having that America Express, that Air Max. They just don't got a limit. Just spend what you got. Hey, don't worry about the bill. You can pay it later. When you get your money in, just pay it all off, right? And so they've been you just mentioned it. You bring in Ramsey. Now you got Von Miller. Then you bring in Odell. You brought in Sony Michel at the beginning of the season. You bring in all this talent and Matthew Stafford as well. You bring in Matthew Stafford. Listen, you didn't bring all this talent in to be losing to the 49ers on Monday Night Football getting smoked. Absolutely smoked on Monday Night Football. Come on, man. And I don't know if it's a chemistry thing, or they look past the 49ers to somebody else, or they're reading the news clippings. Hey, the NFC got 5 elite teams. The Rams is one of those elite teams, and Matthew Stafford got them humming, and Cooper Kupp is leading the NFL in receiving, and Von Miller is coming, and he's gonna pair him up with Aaron Donald, and they're going to be an unstoppable crew, and you can put Jalen Ramsey on anybody you want, and he's going to shut them down. And here come Odell, more weapons. Oh, by the way, Robert Woods, you hurt? Don't worry about it. Move to the side. Come on in, Odell. Like, all this stuff is going on. I don't know if they distracted. I don't know if it's just a lot going on. And Sean McVay, you know, haven't quite found the touch to put it all together. But let me just tell you, man, that ain't the NFC contending team that I thought I was going to get. That ain't what I'm not getting my money's worth right now. I should have clipped the coupons and saved a few, because that's not that Rams team wasn't it. You know, and hats out to the 49ers, but, you know, before people think I'm hating on the 49ers. I'm not hating on the 49ers, but it's a reason why Trey Lance was drafted number 3 overall. Like, let's go ahead and cut the cheese here. It wasn't because Jimmy Garoppolo a world beater. That's for sure. You know, this is a team that's been riddled with injuries. This Mitchell kid, the only reason we know about him because of injuries. Deebo Samuel, he had a good game. Deebo Samuel, he's a mainstay. George Kittle, that's a mainstay. Those are guys that's been the staple of the offense for at least the last 2 to 3 years. You know, and I'm not mad at that. That's what you get. But at the end of the day, like I say, it's a reason why Kyle Shanahan looking towards the future and when the draft of the quarterback. It's a reason why. And it darn sure wasn't to get on Monday Night Football and smoke the Rams. And I need to put a little context. Within this division, it's a chess match going on. And in that chess match, it's between only 2 coaches. Kyle Shanahan of the 49ers and Sean McVay of the Rams. Those 2, they're playing a chess match. If you think I'm lying, go and look at the transactions both teams have made over the years. Just at quarterback, if you want to be honest. They're making these moves because they see each other as, you know, foes. Not saying the other 2 teams don't matter, because they do. Arizona and Seattle matters. I'm not, but Arizona and Seattle, they're not in this chess match. First of all, Pete Carroll ain't playing chess with nobody. Like I think he's the oldest coach in the NFL. He's like on his own program. Like, it is what it is. And Cliff Barry is too new to, you know, Kingsbury. He's too new to even be in this mix right now. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan ain't really paying him no attention right now. You go eat at the kids' table. When you do something, come on up here, we'll talk. So both of these teams been in the Super Bowl within the last about, I think, 4 years. I put the range, and they're playing chess. Is a reason why Matthew Stafford is on the Rams roster. Is a reason why Trey Lance is on the 49ers roster, right? Because their quarterbacks, they felt like the quarterbacks that they had before those guys, they're not going to get them over the hump. Let's remember here. Let's remember this. These are 2 teams that came up short in the Super Bowl when they made it to the Super Bowl. Some would say if they had better quarterback and they would have won those Super Bowls. We don't know, but these are 2 teams that came up short, right? And I like the fact that they keep trying to upgrade their rosters to play each other. This game on Monday night was Kyle Shanahan saying, you know, F you, McVay, I got this one. Come holler at your boy later. He got the rights now because, you got an NFC contending team over there. We supposed to be bottom feeders in the division. I just came out here and laid it on you. I laid it on you, pal. So you might, while you accumulating all this talent like a free agency, agency out here, you might want to put that talent to work because you got doormatted on Monday night. You got doormatted. That's all it is to it. So instead of looking good, you got to play good and look good. And I'm going to just say this. You know, Kyle Shanahan got the last laugh. This is a war. He won the last battle. I got it. But we will have more to come along. But I think what people got to take from this is we hear these names and we assume that teams are automatically going to be good. Odell Beckham. Jalen Ramsey. Von Miller. Darren. What we forget is these teams got to learn each other. They got to gel more. And listen, Odell Beckham, they came out here with a little package for him. It wasn't nowhere near enough. to get them over the hump. I don't know if, and like I said with Matthew Stafford, maybe he's thrown off a little bit because he's used to what Robert Woods give him. He's used to what Cooper Kupp. But in the same breath, this is the second bad loss for Matthew Stafford in such weeks. So if you use that excuse and say, well, it wasn't Odell Beckham 2 weeks ago, and you're right, it wasn't Odell Beckham 2 weeks ago. So now you ask yourself, what's the problem now? Whatever's going on with Matthew Stafford, they're going to have to figure that out quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because like I said, at some point, you had it to where Matthew Stafford came out here humming. He knew what was going on. Now all of a sudden he confused. I don't know if it's something going on personally. He might want to get his head back in the game before they mess around and be playing in the wild card round. Because listen, it's 5 teams. One of those 5 teams ain't going to make it to the Final Four. Somebody getting out of here in the early rounds. Somebody's going to get out of here. I'm talking about the 5 elites, or the teams we look at as elite in the NFC. That's what I mean.
I got you.
So one of them gonna bite the dust early. So you're gonna probably have a team, 4 losses, 5 losses, something like that, and it might one of those teams not gonna make it. So what I would say now is, right now, concern is low. If we come out here next week and Matthew Stafford out here looking like, dare I say, his predecessor, Jared Goff, then we're going to have some problems. So, right, but to answer your question, no, I mean, it is what it is. A divisional foe came out here and gave it to him. And I think that's what we expect when we see the 49ers and the Rams now. We thought we'd get a chess match. It was more like Pop Warner versus, some 6A high school team. But either way, it happened. And so I'm not superly concerned, but we'll see how this go in the near future for the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I'm concerned. It's really strange, and the Rams have been now in the past 2 weeks. We've seen some really strange results in the NFL that we did not anticipate. I get the whole any given Sunday concept, but the Rams have been shellacked for 2 straight weeks after a 7-1 start. Now they're 7-3. They brought in Von Miller. They brought in Odell Beckham. And now the whole idea of I heard you talking about a team needing a gel, needing time for all that. The thing about that is from the Rams' perspective, is this team got off to such a hot start that it would seem that like you would expect this to happen in reverse. I would have said maybe the Rams, they come out a little hit and miss. They're not in rhythm. They're not on the same page early in the season in the first month or so. Well, that didn't happen. But now the more pieces they accumulate, I'm not going to say the worse they get, because I don't think you can be 7-1 and look that great and then all of a sudden be terrible. But it's just strange. Like how has this happened? And I get Tennessee. Tennessee is a pretty good football team. I'm not sure they're as good as their record indicates. But San Francisco had lost 5 of 6 games coming in, and they just are in complete disarray. And then, like, Jimmy Garoppolo comes out. That had to have been his best game in a long time. And, they just control the game start to finish. They take care of the ball. They control the clock. 39 minutes of time possession in this game. Their first 2 touchdown drives went 11 minutes and 7 minutes, which is just astounding. So it was just an odd game, and I didn't see it coming. Now, obviously, the Rams are capable of fixing this. I think they will, but maybe it's a case of, acquiring players mid-season, and that just makes things a little bit muddled now. You didn't have, at least Stafford and these guys had an off season to get acclimated. Maybe that helped. But it's not a good sign, especially for, a guy like Odell Beckham to come in first game and now the losses are just following you around. Right. Because, this is a guy who we've been critical of for not being part of the solution and being part of a winning environment. 2 catches, 18 yards, And this is a guy who now, remember, we looked at him as being a luxury piece for this offense because Green Bay definitely was a team that needed him more. Now this is a guy they're going to need. You got Cooper Kupp, I get it, and I like Van Jefferson, but Odell's going to have to be the number 2 right now. I don't know if Van Jefferson is quite ready to be the 2. So he's going to need to be a big part of this offense. And yet, as the game went along, he didn't get targeted, I don't believe. He had his second catch came early in the second quarter, and then that was it. So, and also the first pick that Stafford threw he was targeting Odell Beckham. So, it's only Odell's first game. That was Von Miller's first game. The defense, not only the offense, but the defense, I think they got reason to be concerned. They couldn't get off the field. 8 for 13 on third downs for the 49ers, I believe. I mean, that's horrible. This is not only you expect the Rams offense to be great, but this defense, when you can trot out Aaron Donald, when you can trot out Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, and the rest of them, because they got other guys that can play too. I mean, 31 points to a 49ers offense they're not that explosive. They're not that like, I like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. And I think Deebo Samuel's been great this year, and George Kittle is a difference maker. We know that. I mean, a couple years ago, we was talking about best tight end in football with Travis Kelce. I thought he was the best tight end in football at the time. The injuries have held him back, but we'll see. But definitely when he's healthy, he's going to be a big-time factor. But the 49, my point is, outside of those two guys, what are we talking about? I mean, this running game you're talking about, they out here looking like the second coming of the Baltimore Ravens backfield with all the dudes that get hurt. And then outside of these two receivers that we just talked about, I mean, there's just not a lot that impresses me. Plus, your quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo. And they drafted Trey Lance because they have Jimmy Garoppolo, and not that he can't play, but he's not on the field as much as you'd like due to his own injury problems. So I just think it was an odd result all the way around. I do like the point about these two young coaches who I do it. Look, I'm all in on the Pete Carroll thing. I don't know what Pete Carroll's doing, and I dare say we might talk about them a little bit in the next subject. But Cliff Burry, we can just call him that at this point. Whatever. Cliff Burry, he's doing well, but I don't think he's not on this level yet.
Right.
Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, they've been in Super Bowls, and I get they young and they look young. They still young. But I do like that point about these guys going at it, trying to figure it out, come back from tough Super Bowl losses, and look, I tell you, Kyle Shanahan needed a game like this. You lost 5 or 6, and people starting to wonder out there. Hey, I know y'all made that Super Bowl, but what the hell else have you done? Like the other 3 seasons y'all have had they've been terrible. So I think he needed this game. He got it. I thought. He obviously had a great plan. He had his boys ready. And look, I mean, they control the game. They control the clock. That's what you need to do. But for the Rams, look, I will say, Matthew Stafford has played 2 god-awful games. You look at what he's done this year. You look at what he's done this year. Before the loss against Tennessee, the lowest QBR he had in the game was 53. And if you take that game out, the lowest one is 65. So he's been fantastic. And in the last 2 games, just duds. You got a 17 and a 34. And still, amazingly so, and I think Matthew Stafford has dropped considerably in the MVP race. I don't think he's out of it completely. But he's still first in QBR. I thought that was an amazing statistic. That tells you how great he's been playing before these 2 games to be able to survive these 2 just duds. I thought that was incredible. I still think the Rams, you are right about the whole the wild card situation with the 5 teams. We're talking about Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa, and these 2 NFC West teams in Arizona and the Rams. Now, only one team's going to get a bye. So everybody, most everybody's going to be playing a wild card round besides, one team from each conference. But out of those 5 teams, Dallas, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay are going to get a home game at least. They're going to get one home game.
I think what I meant to say, because I think I did misspoke. I meant to say only 4 teams would advance, like to that championship round.
Okay.
With the division round. So that's what I meant. Only 4 of these teams can advance to the division round. So one of these teams we're looking at as elite gonna be gone after wild card weekend.
But the bigger point I'm trying to make is for the NFC West, the Rams or the Cardinals will have the tougher road based on who wins the division. because whoever doesn't win the division is going to have to play 3 straight on the road to get there, most likely.
Right.
And that's why, like, the Rams, even though the Cardinals, I think they're going to come back a little bit to the field. I really do. That run defense is just atrocious. But the Rams, they can't afford to be out here pussyfooting around. When, they're the team that has went out and made move after move. And how are you regressing? That obviously cannot continue.